places where I believe coaches need to be putting their attention to right now. And number one, that's creating an automated system. And we're going to talk all about what that is, the moving parts. And I'm also going to give you 5 systems that you can implement in your business now. And I believe that right now you should be coming out of this whole COVID-19 situation with a system, with at least one system, right? That's generating leads, that's attracting leads to your business, that's nurturing them so you can build know, like, and trust, and that's converting them onto your calendar. Okay. So I'm going to give you 5 different types of systems today. And I believe that that's the first thing you should be paying attention to. The second thing you should be paying attention to is collaborations. Okay. I call this BOPAs, borrowing other people's audiences. And the reason why is because once you create this system, the system doesn't work alone. Okay. So, and again, if you're someone who's listening to me, you guys just say hello as you come in. If you're someone who's listening to me right now and you don't know what a system is, before you leave today, you'll know what it is. But I need to make sure that I'm giving you a full picture, because I think a lot of people talk about setting up systems and setting up funnels and making you believe that that's all there is. But the truth is, once you set up this system, you got to be able to send people through the system. Okay. Give me a 1 below if you understand what I'm saying. Right? Hey, Sandra, thank you for tagging someone. So you need to be able to get traffic to this system. You need to be able to get people through the system. So the system is great, but you still have to do the front end work that's going to get people through the system. All right. And right now I'm just doing some, I probably, dang it. As I'm speaking right now, I just realized that I did not hit send. I did not send out our email to tell everybody that we were doing this morning. I guess I'm gonna have to just send out the replay to our list. But see how I just messed up, guys? Listen, whenever you're doing live streams, if you have an email list, no matter how big or small they are, whenever you're doing live streams, it's a great idea to email your list and let them know when you're going live. Because that'll bring more people over. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So number one, you want to be able to set up an automated system. When this is all over, I believe that you should have at least one. But number two, you also need to be able to send traffic and people through this system. So that way you can start to generate profitable conversations. So if you did not catch my Sink or Swim 3-day series, we still have it open. You can just put SNS below, put SS below. Put SS below if you did not get a chance to see it, and I'll make sure that you do. But just so you can understand all the lingo, because for people who watch the series, you know what I mean when I say generate profitable conversations. And that just means getting people on your calendar, booking appointments with ideal clients, okay? In the series, I broke this whole thing down, so I definitely want you to be able to see the series. But today is really about the systems. Does that make sense? Okay. So I just want to make sure I covered everything before I jump in and share my screen. So yeah, you need the system as one piece, and then you also need to be able to generate traffic and send them through this system. And that's where your marketing come in. So let's talk about systems. All right. I'm going to be sharing my screen because I'm going to be mapping this out so you guys can see this visually. Give me a second here. Share. Here we go. Share. And when I did the last training with you guys, when I shared my screen, I felt like if my box where my face is was so tiny, and I was like, oh, I could have made that bigger. So I am not going to forget that today. I don't even know if it's possible to make this thing bigger, or no matter how big I make it, it still looks small. All right, so let's jump in, guys. I'm not going to stick too long on this. Let's talk about what an automated system is. An automated system is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a system that is set up. Okay. It works on your behalf. So once you set it up once, it will continue to work for you over and over again. And what it does is it, number one, it attracts ideal clients. Okay. So whatever the entry point is for people to be able to get through your system, it has to be positioned to be able to attract your ideal clients, because you want to make sure that you're bringing the right people through the system, right? So if you're a coach who maybe you get a lot of appointments now, but unfortunately, the people who you're getting, they are not ideal. You're not converting people into your programs, into your offers. Then most likely you're getting the wrong people in your system. And whenever somebody tells me that, there are two places I look. The first place I look is their sales calls. So what are they actually saying on the phone? And then the second place that I would look is who they're getting on, who are they getting, period. Are they ideal, right? Because if they're not ideal, then that tells me your entry point, how people are getting in, that is not positioned to speak to the right person. All right. So give me a one below if that makes sense. I want you guys to communicate with me so that way I could make sure that you all are understanding what I'm saying here. Okay. So right, your system, it attracts people. That's the first thing. The second thing is it will nurture relationships, because you have an email sequence. And again, I'm going to map all this out for you to be able to see, but you have an email sequence that is attached to your system. And through that email, through those emails, you are able to get to share your story. You're able to get to share case studies. You're able to answer questions. You're able to create value, give value. And all of this helps the people that comes through your system start to know, like, and trust you. And that's what you want. So when you give that call to action for them to book an appointment, or for them to come to a webinar, or, get in your offer, whatever it is, they will actually start to take action. All right. So the reason why it's called a system is because you do the marketing in the front end that's going to bring people through, but you make your money on the back end. Does that make sense? All right. Now I'm going to be sharing 5 systems with you guys. And the exciting news is that one of the systems that I'm sharing, you actually are able to make money. So I'm going to show you how you could actually make money before you even get people on your calendar. I'm also going to show you 2 systems where you do not have to create a freebie. Okay. And again, we're going to talk about lingo, and we're going to go through all of this, because if I'm speaking to someone who's brand new, I need you to understand what you're creating. If I'm speaking to someone who knows what a funnel is already, then I need you to understand how it flows and how the messaging needs to work, and what you need to have in place to make it work for you. So no matter what, I'm going to take this from A to Z. So we're probably going to be here for about an hour. But I really want to make sure that you guys get this. Okay. So I'm going to share two systems with you where you're not going to need a freebie. And then I'll share the others. Okay. So we got 5 that we're going to go through today. All right. So let's start with number 1. All right. And we're going to start with text, because for this one, it starts with the lead magnet. Okay. Now I call this a client magnet. So I'm going to write this here because I want you to understand my lingo as well. Okay. But and what people call it on the internet is a lead magnet or a freebie. And pretty much what it is it's a resource. It's a free resource that you give away in return for people's name and email address, sometimes even cell phone numbers. So it's a way for you to start generating leads. Okay. So again, if you're someone who's brand new, before you can even start getting people into your program and into your groups and into your offers, you need to be able to capture their attention. And the best way to do that is by providing a free resource. Now, the mistake that I see a lot of new coaches make is that they automatically just say, sign up on my mailing list, right? So sign up on my mailing list. And they say, just, go to my website and sign up on my mailing list. And that doesn't work anymore. Back in the days, that would work when this was a new theory or a new idea. But now you actually need to give something. All right. So you have to give something, and you want to make sure, and it could be, let me give you some options. It could be a workbook. It could be a worksheet. It could be a checklist. All right. But you want to give something, a free resource. Okay. The second thing that you need to know about this client magnet is that it has to be positioned to attract the right person. So remember what I said. Remember what I said. If you're struggling to get the right people on the phone, if you're struggling to convert, but you are generating leads already, then most likely your entry point is not positioned to bring in the right people. Okay. Is this making sense for you guys? So you want to make sure that, hold on, you want to make sure that the lead magnet that you decide to create, it definitely, okay, it's definitely going to be attracting the right people. All right. So in the Sink or Swim series, I gave you guys an example. I'm going to use the same example now. Back in about 2 years ago, I created a client magnet and it was called the Coaching Starter Pack. So many of you, if you just go into this group and search for it, we still have it available. Okay. And it was basically a bunch of files, like the Master Your Message workbook, a workbook that helps you put together your coaching program, a couple of legal forms that you would need when you sign new clients. And it was pretty much the beginner of what someone would need if they were a new coach. And I called it the Coaching Starter Pack. And so you would think that because my ideal clients are coaches, that I chose the right lead magnet, right? Because it's a coaching starter pack. However, at that time, I didn't work with new coaches. So I was attracting a lot of new coaches because of that freebie, and I was not attracting the coaches that were ready to work at my level. Okay. So there you have it. It's very important that whatever you decide to create this lead magnet around, that it is definitely attracting the right people. Okay. Now I'm not going to go into what your topics needs to be, because the truth is I can stay here. I can come for the next 5 days to actually flesh all of this out. This is not something that we can do in an hour. So I'm not going to get into the topic and all of that. I just want you to make sure the importance of the positioning when you're bringing people in. All right. So the first step is you need to create some sort of free resource so you can collect email addresses. All right. Now, the next step after your lead magnet, and this is actually the system that I showed you guys in the series. So that's going to be the first one that we're covering today, especially for anyone who did not make it. Okay. So I'm going to just flesh it out first to make this easy, and then I'll walk you through it really quick. Okay. Okay. So the first thing you need is that client magnet so you could attract people. They'll go ahead, they'll put their name and their email address in. And then when they get on the next page, you'll have a page here where you will have some sort of thank you for getting the freebie. It's on its way to your inbox. And then you'll have a training here. Okay. So you'll have 3 trainings in this system. So again, when I map out these 5 systems for you guys, I'm going to show you which one is going to be the easiest to create. So which one you should start with. I'm going to show you why one works better than the other. So you're going to really be able to see how this whole thing works, so you can know which system is best for you to start with. Okay. So you create the lead magnet. The next page they go to, you have a little thank you note here, your first training with a button to go to the calendar, the second training with a button to go to the calendar, and then the third training with a button to go to the calendar. Okay. So this is the first system that you will create. Now, once people join here, they are going to end up going through an email sequence. All right. So again, I want to make sure that you guys really get this. Hold on. Email sequence. All right. Okay, that's going to have to work. Okay. I'm doing this real quick. And if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave it below. Okay. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, first system, this is it. It includes 3 pages, 4 pages. So, people are going to come to a page here to download your lead magnet. Once they download your lead magnet, you're going to take them to one training, number one. And it's basically taking them through steps. Okay. So, teaching people what you know. If you're a health coach, maybe you're teaching them 3 ways to stay healthy through this whole COVID-19. Okay. And each video is going to be one of the ways they can stay healthy. Okay. If you are a marketing coach like me, maybe you're teaching them how to generate their first 1,000 leads. So maybe the first video you're talking about how to create lead magnets. The second video you're talking about, what lead is, or I'm making this up as we go along, but I need you guys to just see how this flows. Each video is teaching something. All right. And what you're doing through this process is you're building know, like, and trust. So your people are getting to know you through how you teach, your personalities, the stories you share. They're getting to like you. They're getting to trust you because you're taking them through a process that's filling a need. So you guys are seeing that I'm starting to talk very fast now because we're getting into this and I don't want to be here for 2 hours, but you get how that works, right? Give me a yes below if you see how this whole thing works. So when people watch these trainings, each one there, you're telling them to book an appointment, right? And so if they listen to the trainings and they feel like, wow, this is really helping me, this is something that I need, then they'll go ahead and they'll click this button here and they'll book an appointment with you. And this is how you start to generate conversations, profitable conversations on autopilot. Right. And so remember, I said to you, a system does not work alone. When you create a system, you still need to be able to generate traffic through your marketing and get people through the system. So what I love about the system and why it's important for you guys to have one is because once you set something like this up, then you only have to worry about getting people in here. Does that make sense? So you only have to worry about the traffic, your marketing, the social media, the live streams you're doing, the interviews you're doing, whatever your marketing strategy is, you now get to put all your attention on just that because you know that you have a system set up that's doing the work for you. So you see the benefit of why it's important to create this, okay? So with this one, what happens is that some people are going to go through all of these trainings and they still may not book an appointment. But that's okay because you have them on your email list now. So you're able to continue conversations with them. Now, some people, they may download this lead magnet and they never watch any of the trainings. So what we have in place to help increase your conversions and get more people to watch these trainings is this email sequence right here. So basically, once people put their name and email address in, they need to be able to get that freebie from you. How are you sending it to them, right? That's through the email sequence. So are you guys starting to see how this whole thing works? All right. So now that is system number one. Let's put a number one here. So you know this is system number one. Okay. And now we're going to move to system number two. And again, each one of these, they're different steps, and they work for different coaches depending on what level you're at. Okay. So let me show you what system number, I made a mistake and put 2 up here. Let me show you what system number 2 looks like. Okay. All right. So I'm going to map this out really quick just so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll walk you through it. All right. So this one is going to start with a page. Then you're going to have a second page here. All right, so this one is going to be 2 steps. Ooh, if you guys are not taking notes on this, honey, because I mean, if other coaches knew that I was mapping this stuff out like this, they would have my head, okay? Because I'm like really breaking it down. I hope you guys are taking notes. Okay. All right, let's do it. So this is system number 2, and this has 2 steps. All right. Now, what I love about this system, and this is actually the system that I think a lot of you should really start with. And what I love about this system is you don't need a lead magnet, because this system has the lead magnet integrated. All right. So let's break this down. It starts with page number 1, and we call this a squeeze page. And then from the squeeze page, it goes to page number 2, where you have a video case study, and then you are telling people to book an appointment. So it's a 2-step system. Okay. Now, once people join this system, just like every other system you're ever going to hear about, don't forget, you still have to have that email sequence, because you are building relationships. All right. So not everybody's going to take action and book an appointment as soon as they download a freebie, or as soon as they, see a case study. So you still have to always have that email sequence that's going to nurture them. Okay. So this one starts with a squeeze page. Now, what makes this one work is all about the messaging. So with the squeeze page, all you have is a headline and then a place for them to put their name and email in. So you're not giving a freebie away, because the case study is the actual freebie. Make sense? Tell me make sense below. Are you guys following me? Let me know below. Or you can hit the like, the hearts, or whatever, but let me know that you are following me. All right. So I have one of these sets set up, and basically on the squeeze page, it says something like, how I consistently, I'm going to give you an example, how I consistently generate 25 plus appointments every single month, right? And then it'll say free case study reveals. So free case study reveals how I generate 25 plus appointments with the right clients every single month, right? And then it has 2 buttons there. 2 little lines: name, email, submit. Okay. So basically with this one, you don't need a lead magnet, because the case study is the lead magnet. Okay. So if people want to know how I generate 25 plus appointments, they'll put their name and their email in. Boom. Once they put their name and their email in, they go to a second page where now I'm telling them the case study, how I generate 25 plus appointments. And at the end of that case study, I say, listen, if you want to implement this, then click the button below and do what? Book an appointment. So you see how this works? So this is a 2-step system. This is actually the easiest one you can do, which is why I really love it. And if you're brand new, this is the one that you should start with. If you've never set up an automated system before, even if you aren't brand new, but you haven't set up an automated system before, this is the easiest one for you to start with. Okay. So again, squeeze page. On the squeeze page, there's a headline. Put your name and your email in. If you are a tax preparer, then you know how to save $5,000 on your taxes at the end of the year, right? How how we doubled our clients' deductions at the end of the last tax year, right? Free case study reveal. So is that making sense for you guys? Let me know if that's making sense for you guys. Okay. So they sign up for it. They go to the second page. They watch the case study. You teach them and give them what you promised. Teach them what you said you would in that headline. And then you let them know to book an appointment. All right. Now, remember, some people are going to sign up. They're going to watch this case study, but they're not going to be ready to book an appointment yet. So that is the reason why you have this email sequence here that does what? helps them know, like, and trust you. Why? Because you're sharing stories, case studies, you're sharing value, you're inviting them to live streams, you're doing what you're supposed to do in the emails. All right. So make sure that you guys are following, make sure that you guys are writing notes, because OMG, am I breaking this down? All right. Now, if you're someone who's seen all of this before, can you let everybody know if I'm breaking this down? Okay. If I'm breaking this down. Okay. All right. So let's move on to step number 2. System number 3. Okay. Is it going to let me move the page up? Oh, it doesn't let you move the page up, guys. So hold on, because I don't want to erase, because when I'm done, I want to be able to compare, like show you how all of them are compared and why one works and one doesn't, and blah, 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 blah. So I think what I'll have to do is probably use this space over here for number 3, and then we'll use a new page for 4 and 5. So system number 3. Okay. So again, I'm going to draw it out just like I did before, so you can see what this looks like. All right. And I actually want to make this smaller. Make it smaller since we're running out of space. And voila. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So this one is actually a 2-step the same way. 2-step the same way. And some of them could be 3 steps, but I'm giving it to you guys in the easiest way possible. Because like for me, if you go through my system, like this one that I'm getting ready to show you guys, if you go through this one of my systems, then I have a second page here. So instead of having the webinar and then have here, it's basically, you know, they watch this webinar and then when they click this button, it takes them to a third page, which I have my calendar embedded in a lead page. But I want to make this really easy for you. So if you're someone who's non-techie, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with creating something like this. So if you have your calendar system like Calendly or Acuity, they have different calendar systems, whichever one you're using, then basically what you'll be doing here is you'll be linking this button. And so when people press this button, it will take them right to your calendar system. All right. So I'm making it easier for you tech-wise by sharing it with you this way, okay? But for those of you who are a little more advanced, then yes, I do believe that you want to create a second page for your calendar and embed your calendar because it looks cohesive, and you just want to keep up with your brand look. It would not hurt you if you don't have it. So those of you who are going to do the simple way, don't get scared. It wouldn't stop your conversion, but this is just how you want to evolve. You don't want to try to go to chapter 10 and you ain't even do chapter 1 yet. Does that make sense? So you want to really just get a system out there so you can actually start working on this than making your job harder. Because what I find with a lot of coaches is they'll try to do this themselves, but then the minute they get started, they get overwhelmed with the tech because they may not be techie, right? And so then they just don't do it. And if you're someone who's been in that position, you could let me know, right? Because I know a lot of people have heard this information since the year before, but you have not done it, right? And I just want to make sure that you get it done now. So let's go through this one really quickly. With system number 3, it starts again with a lead magnet. So you're giving away a free resource. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning of this video. I explained what that is. Once they download this lead magnet, they go to a second page. And on this page now, you have a webinar. All right. And the same thing, you're teaching something in your webinar, you're sharing your story, you're sharing your testimonials, you're sharing the things that you have to share, and you teach. Okay. So you don't just sell, you teach, and then you offer them to book an appointment. Okay. So that's pretty much the whole system. Now, the first question many of you are going to have right now is, what is the difference between a webinar and a case study? And that would be a really good question. So the difference is just the structure. All right. So webinar case studies are usually about 20 minutes, sometimes even 15. So about 15 minutes to 30 minutes max. And webinars can be about 60 minutes to 90 minutes. Okay. And basically, it's the structure. Which one converts more? It really doesn't matter. It all depends on where you are at, what level you're at. Okay. So I think that webinars are easier for people who are new, whereas case study is all about knowing how to speak to sell. Does that make sense? Knowing how to, so let me see what I can compare a case study to. I can compare a case study to copywriting, all right? So copywriting is the skill of knowing how to write to sell, right? Knowing how to write emails, sales pages, posts that will get people to take the action that you want them to take. Well, with case study, it's the same thing. It's speaking to sell. So if you don't have that skill set yet, if you're not working with someone that can teach you how to do that or give you scripts or whatever, then I wouldn't suggest starting with the case study. So you see why I said I wanted to be able to map all of this out and then really kind of give you my expert opinion on how each of these work so you can make the best decision on which one you want to start with. Okay. With a webinar, it's more focused on teaching. So even if you are new at this, I started with webinars. Even if you're new at this and you just know how to put together a PowerPoint presentation, you can still get people to book an appointment. You don't really have to have salesy language and jargon, and the structure is not as important as it is in a case study. So that's what makes the webinar easier to do. Another thing is people who are attracted to me are usually heart-centered entrepreneurs who really just have a lot of knowledge and want to be able to share it with their ideal clients. And they struggle with the sales side of things. All right. And so that is the reason why teaching comes natural to them, but selling does not. Does that make sense? So a webinar is going to be the easiest thing for you to do. All right. So that is system number 3. Okay. So I'm going to download this and I'm going to save this, right? I'm going to save this just so we have it, the folders up. And then I'm going to start a new page so we can clear this out. Okay. So we're going, if you guys have any questions, again, post them below. I'm getting ready to clear this out and we're going to go over to system number 4. Okay. So we're going to clear that out. And then we're going to do system number 4. Okay. So system number 4, same way, it starts off with the lead magnet. But this one, what I love is that with this one, you get to make a little bit of money because you get to sell something, right? Oh, I should have put my links together so I could have actually showed you guys mine because I have all 5 of these set up in my business. But you know, when you're not thinking and you're just so passionate and you just want to teach something real quick, I didn't even think about the fact that I could have done that. But it's all right. Maybe I'll just put them out in the group as posts today so you guys can see my different systems live and then living color. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, this is done. Okay. So I'm just drawing this out and then I'm going to explain to you each one. Okay. Now, don't forget that with every one of your systems, there needs to have an email sequence. No matter which one you choose, you will need to have an email sequence. All right, so this is system number 4. System number 4, it starts off with a freebie, the free resource that we talked about. Once people download this free resource, then it goes to what we call an upsell page, okay? So let me write this down here. So the reason why I said you're able to make some money with this one is because you get to sell something here, all right? And then people will get to buy something, and you get to make money on this page before you send them to book an appointment. All right, so this one is really fun, and I have some really good strategies to get you more appointments from this one. So with my system, the way this is set up for mine is the freebie is what we call our Master Your Message workbook. When they go to that page, it has a compelling headline and people are able to download the workbook. When they get on, now the workbook is all about helping people find and master their message, okay? So when they get to the second page, I am selling a $17 product and they're able to get it for the next, I think 20 minutes or something like that. They're able to get it for $17, all right? And basically with that system, I am selling them something that goes with mastering their message. So just so I can get you to see the thought process, one of the ways that I help people find their message is by crafting their story. So basically, when people download this workbook and they get to my upsell page, I showed you where you could just write some text. And then from this text, people can buy, right? Hold on one second. My phone just rang. I just want to make sure you guys are still with me. Okay, so from this text, they'll go ahead and they'll buy. But no, on mine, I did a video. So you can do a video or you can do text. But again, I'm telling you it's the easiest way because I want you guys to have no excuse why you are not getting this done. So for you, you can do text because video, being able to sell in video, there is a skill set behind it. And it's not the easiest thing to do if you don't know how to communicate in a way that converts, okay? So with the upsell, you can use text, and then at the end of the text, you're telling them to buy. Well, what I did is on this page, I had a video and it's like, listen, now that you got the workbook, there's one more thing that you're going to need. And what you're going to need is you're going to need to be able to craft your story. What I found, and then I go through the video, right? So what I found is people who craft their story first, they're able to craft a more unique message that speaks directly to their clients. So what I want to offer you is my Captivate Story Bundle for $17 for the next 20 minutes, okay? And then of that video, they go ahead and they buy. And so what I'm able to do is I'm able to generate $17 sales from this upsell page. Now, here is one of my strategies. What I do is I offer people a free session, and you guys are getting it. I'm telling you, if other coaches knew that I was breaking this down like this, whew, okay, so what I do is I offer a bonus, and I say, listen, if you get this for $17, we're going to give you a free session, a surprise session. And on that session, what do you think I do? I get people to join my program. All right. So this is what it is. And then from here, you're sending people to your calendar. So when you are from your email sequence, you want to make sure that you are sending people to book an appointment, right? Because remember, they're not able to get this $17 sale once they leave this page, all right? So that's how this whole system works. Do I recommend this for you? No, I absolutely do not. I recommend number 3 for y'all, okay? I absolutely do not. $17 may sound great, but again, it's all about being able to communicate in a way that converts. And the average coach do not have that skill set yet. Okay. And so number 3 is the one that I recommend for all of you really to start with. But I still wanted to be able, I said this is going to be A to Z. So I want to be able to make sure that you know what these different systems will do for your coaching business so you can make sound decisions. All right. So this is system number 4. All right. So we have one more to go. Let's move on to number 5. And I actually am going faster than I thought I was going to go. Okay. So this is the one that I recommend nobody to do. Unless you have a copywriter or you know how to write copy. But it's still a good one that works. So with this one, this is the second one where you don't need a freebie. Okay. So remember, in system number 2, you didn't need a freebie, right? All you needed was the squeeze page, send them to a case study, boom, right? And so with this one, you don't need a freebie either. So this one is a one hitter quitter, one page, and it really works. But again, if you don't know how to write copy, then it's going to be really hard for you to do. So this one is a one-page system, okay? And what you're doing is from your social media, from your marketing, you're sending them to what we call a sales letter, okay? So they go to this page and you have a long sales letter. And at the end of the sales letter, you are telling them the call to action is book an appointment. So do you see how all 5 systems is generating appointments for you, right? But it's just that each system is going to take something else from you. Does that make sense? All right. So with system number 5, it's a one hitter quitter. You're sending them to a sales letter. At the end of this sales copy, you're telling them to book an appointment. All right. So this is all 5 systems, very laid out for you to know exactly what these systems are supposed to look like. Let me open up the other file for you so we're able to go back and forth. So we're able to go back and forth. Did I miss something here? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Whiteboard. Here we go. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this come up now, or maybe I have to stop the share. Hold on one second, guys. Share screen, share. Okay, here we go. So now I should be able to go from 1 to 2. Oh, Shems. I didn't save it. All right. Hopefully you guys took the notes because I literally did not say 4 or 5 just now. So we just lost it. Damn it. Okay. So back to system number 1, system number 2, system number 3. Now that you've able to see all 5 systems, you will know that what I suggest for you guys to start with is going to be system number 3. Okay. And the reason why is because I do feel like a lead magnet is very valuable. So even though you don't need it, like in system 2 and system number 5, again, you might not need it, but then you need another skill set for those. You need to be able to communicate in a way that converts, right? You need to be able to know how to write to sell if you're going to write a sales letter. And so that is the reason why system number 3 becomes my top chosen one for you guys. Secondly, if you're someone who you have not positioned yourself where you have an audience, people know, like, and trust you, people already see you as an authority, you already have a signature system, people already see you as an expert, all of that. If you're not there yet, then you really want to be focused on the first part, which is being able to get more visibility and being able to generate more leads. And I believe that you'll generate more leads when you're able to give a free resource that will solve a problem for your ideal client. So this is why number 3 is where I would need you guys to start. Okay. Again, if you have any questions at all, I'm getting ready to leave you. Make sure that you post them below. If you end up posting them after, I'll see them later. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about what tools you need to be able to pull this off. Right. So if you're going to do this for yourself, what tools do you need to be able to pull this off? So number 1, you're going to need some type of software that helps you create lead pages. Okay. So I use lead pages. I know Nina's here. She used Kartra. I know I have another client who's using Entreport, another one who's using Kajabi. There's ClickFunnels. Oh my gosh, there's so many different ones that you can use. You just have to have one. Okay. You just have to have one. All right. Why? Because you want to be able to send people to a page that's going to convert. The biggest mistake that I see coaches make when it comes to creating these pages is not using the right software. is trying to design it yourself on your website. Here's why. These softwares have literally put thousands and thousands of dollars into advertising and into research, all right, to be able to create pages that convert. So being able to use their templates is what allows you to just go in, change your colors, change the words, and have things set up in a way that converts. All right. So last week I asked a question where I asked you guys, do you have a system? We had a good bit of people who said yes. We only had a couple that actually put their link there so I can see it. One young lady, and I wish I remembered her name. One young lady, I saw the page and it was set up the way it was supposed to be, design wise. Okay. And when I asked her numbers and she gave me her numbers, she said she was converting at a 50% rate, which is amazing. All right. If you could get started at 20%, that would be great. But 50% is amazing. But then we had another one, my girl Diane, shout out to Diane, and she needed help with hers. When you went to the page, it was not structured in a way for it to convert. Why? Because she was not using the right tool. Okay. And so it's really important that you're using the right tool because it makes your job easier and it increases your conversion. If you are not a marketer, which many of you are not marketers, then you do not know how to design in a way to convert. Right? So make sure that you're using the tools that's going to make this easier for you. Again, I use Lead Pages. Okay. Now, the second tool you're going to need is you're going to need an email service provider. All right. So a system that helps you send out, that allows you to send out emails, right? Because when people join, you got to be able to do what? Send them through these emails, this email sequence. So you need to be able to have a tool that will do that for you. So for newbie entrepreneurs, I usually tell them to, and let me just stop sharing so now you can see me. So for newbie entrepreneurs, I usually tell them to use MailChimp because it is a beginner software. It's not really a big learning curve. It's straightforward and you can start there. I personally use ConvertKit. Katra, which we talked about, this is one that Nina's using now, and it has emails with the lead pages, like an all-in-one thing. I think Kajabi is also an all-in-one thing, right? So again, it's just for you to make sure that you are making the right choice with your tools, okay? And then the third thing that you're gonna need is you're just gonna need to use a system like Canva or Google Docs to create your lead magnet. All right. So if you're going to do a worksheet or a checklist, or you can even outsource this type of stuff to someone on Fiverr to create a lead magnet for you. Okay. And this is all you need. Do you see how I just shared with you 5 different systems, the tools that you'll need, why each of them work? I mean, come on. Oh, so let's go back to this one more time. Let's go back to this one more time. So let's talk about system number 1. So system number 1, this is the recession-proof client acquisition system that I shared with you in the Sink or Swim series. And the reason why I really love this system, and if you are someone who, you have videos already or you have PowerPoints already that you can quickly record 3 trainings, the reason why I recommend system number 1 is because they have more time with you. All right. So while all of these work, again, there are pros and there are cons for each one. There are ups and, which one works better. And I love system number 1 because they have more time with you. And I feel like when they have more time with you, you can build more rapport through 3 different trainings, right? See what I'm saying? So remember with the case study one, if you don't know how to communicate to convert, you don't know how to use the video, then this one is not going to be great for you, right? Whereas with this one, if you know how to teach, like how I'm teaching something right now, if you know how to teach what you know, and you could just record 3 trainings, then this is going to be actually decent because you're able to have more time with them each day. So you see why each one has its benefits, all right? Each one has its benefits. So now I'm getting ready to leave you guys. I really want to thank you guys for watching this. Those of you who are on the replay, put hashtag replay below. Don't forget to leave your questions if you have any questions. Here's what I have for you guys today. I have just broken this down for you in a way that you have probably never seen it before. Okay. I have given you what a lot of coaches will not give you because they want you to buy from them. All right. Which is okay. All right. Because if it's a service, it's okay. However, I want you to know that you can take what I've given you today. If you're someone who already knows your systems, you can take what I've given you today and you can go ahead and you can implement your system. This is something you can have done by the end of this week. Okay. Point blank, period. If you have the discipline to map this thing out today, by the end of this week, you can literally map out your system, decide what your lead magnet is going to be today, and have that created by the end of today. Tomorrow, if you're going to do the system number 3, tomorrow you could literally work on your script and create in your PowerPoint slides. Wednesday, you can literally go on Zoom and hit record and record your webinar. Thursday, you can literally connect every single one of your systems, the lead magnet, create the page, boom, boom, boom. Friday, you can test it, make sure that everything works, write out your emails, connect your emails, and by the end of this week, your system can be done. However, there are some of you who you're going to struggle with the tech. There are some of you who you're going to want to know, what lead magnet should I create? What headline should I write? What should I put in the emails? How should I structure the webinar? How should I script the webinar? What should I say? Did I set up my calendar? Are you guys following me? Now, if you're someone who you end up in that position, then what I'm excited to share with you guys is that we released a new service. What we found that with everything that's happening right now, what my goal is to make sure that all of you have a system. So not only do I have a DIY option where I have a course that I usually sell for $97 that I'm going to be selling for $27, and it's a DIY option. So it's 14 videos that takes you through each step. And at the end of those 14 videos, you will have your funnel set up. But then I also have a done for you option where if you want my team and me to work on your system, to write your emails for you, to set everything up for you, as well as to have a marketing session with you to make sure that your system is structured to convert, then we have a done for you option as well. So if you're interested in that done for you option, all I want you to put is DFY below. If you put DFY below, then one of me or one of my team members will reach out to you today and we will go ahead and get you set up so we can do your done for you funnel for you. Now let's talk about this for a minute, because many of you are probably like, wait a minute, because I don't have $5,000 to spend right now. And I know that's what systems like this cost. Or I don't have $3,000 to spend right now. And that's the lowest I've ever seen a funnel done for. If that is something that you're thinking, then know that you are in luck, because again, we created this service specifically to help people through this whole COVID-19, this whole recession, this whole people losing their jobs, that what's happening right now in our economy. We created this service to specifically serve you during this time. So it is absolutely affordable. And this is something you're going to want to take advantage of. So all you got to do is put DFY below, and then we'll go ahead and we'll reach out to you guys. All right. We're going to be posting the link for the DIY option, so you'll be able to get the course if that's something that you want to invest in as well. All right. So I hope that you have found this valuable. I am going to see you guys soon. I just want to thank you one more time for joining me for another Money Marketing Monday with Nyala. I'll see you soon.
Market your message.
Market your message.
Market your message.
Market your message.
Market your message. Market your message. Market your message. Market your message. Market your message.
Market your message.